When Hollywood legend Keanu Reeves walked into Gold's Gym, nobody took him seriously. Not even Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, who laughed at the sight of the skinny actor struggling with light weights. But what happened next shocked the entire gym, transformed Keanu's body, and earned him respect from one of the strongest men in history. The sun was already high over Venice Beach, casting long shadows across the pavement as waves of heat shimmered above the street. Inside Gold's Gym, the Iron Paradise, the air buzzed with clanging weights and grunts of lifters chasing personal bests. It was a Monday morning, the kind when everyone came in ready to prove something. In the back corner of the gym, Ronnie Coleman was finishing a brutal set of leg presses. Sweat soaked his tank top. 8-time Mr. Olympia, a mountain of muscle and charisma, he was used to being the loudest presence in any gym. People watched him like he was Zeus come to earth, and he carried that myth with pride. As he re-racked the weights and took a swig of water, he caught a glimpse of someone walking through the front entrance. Not a regular. Not a bodybuilder. Thin. Long hair tied back. Wore a plain black t-shirt and jeans. Ronnie squinted. No way he's here to lift. The man walked slowly, almost as if unfamiliar with the space. A trainer approached him, and they exchanged a few quiet words. The newcomer nodded and looked around, a little overwhelmed but polite. Then the whispers started rippling through the gym. Is that Keanu Reeves? Nah man, can't be. Wait, yeah it is. That's Keanu. Some heads turned. A few cell phones discreetly raised. Ronnie chuckled to himself, watching the movie star timidly approach a squat rack with a single 10-pound plate on each side. Look at that. John Wick gonna deadlift the bar. He wasn't cruel, but he couldn't help himself. He leaned over to a nearby lifter and said with a grin. Man's got all those assassin skills but can't even warm up with my daughter's weights. A few around him chuckled. It was a joke. A jab. But the air shifted. Keanu, meanwhile, quietly focused on his form. He wasn't flashy. He didn't look around. He wasn't there to impress anyone. He moved slowly, intentionally. The bar rose and fell in silence as he worked through a deadlift set. Later, he moved to dumbbell presses. Then kettlebell swings. Everything with care. Precision. Breathing in deep. Ronnie kept glancing over, occasionally shaking his head. Guys in Hollywood shape, not gym shape. Then Keanu did something unexpected. He walked over to Ronnie. Hey man, he said quietly, huge fan. Been watching your videos for years. I don't want to get in the way. Just trying to get back in shape. Ronnie looked up from his phone surprised. Well alright then, he said, nodding slowly, appreciate that. Keanu gave a slight bow and turned to walk away when Ronnie called out. You ever need a spot, Mr. Wick, you let me know, alright. Keanu smiled and walked back to his routine. But Ronnie wasn't done watching. A few days passed. Keanu came back. Always early. Always quiet. Same routine. No entourage. No press. Just him and his notebook. Logging reps, timing rest periods. He wasn't strong. Not yet. But his form was sharp. Disciplined. Ronnie started watching more closely. Then one morning, about 2 weeks in, Ronnie walked over while Keanu was working on Bulgarian split squats. You mind if I show you a little trick for balance? Keanu looked up startled but nodded. Sure, Ronnie. Ronnie dropped into position beside him, mirrored the movement, then gave him a cue. Lean into that front heel, push through, not just up. Keanu tried it. His form adjusted. Smoother. More grounded. That better? Much, Keanu said, smiling, thanks. From that moment things shifted. Slowly. Keanu kept coming back. Ronnie started throwing him pointers here and there. Nothing major. Just tips. But then he offered a training session. Just one. Let's see what Wick can really do. Keanu showed up early. Stretched. Focused. Ronnie ran him through a basic strength circuit. Bench. Pull-ups. Squats. Farmer carries. Keanu kept up. Barely. But he never stopped. Never complained. And when Ronnie told him to do 10, he did 12. Ronnie started to respect him. Quietly. After the workout they sat outside cooling off. Ronnie leaned back against the wall and said, Why you really training this hard, man? Keanu stared out toward the ocean for a moment, then said, Lost someone close. Needed something to anchor me. The gym helped. The pain helps. Not just physical. The rhythm. The focus. It keeps me steady. Ronnie nodded. He understood that. More than most. They started training together more often. Not every day but enough. Ronnie still joked. Still teased. But the tone changed. Less mocking. More mentoring. Keanu started improving. His body changed. His movements got sharper. Stronger. He moved like someone who understood the work. The regulars stopped snickering. Then came the day of the gym's anniversary challenge. An open contest. Obstacle course. Strength tests. No prizes. Just bragging rights. Ronnie signed up just for fun. So did Keanu. People laughed at first. But when Keanu started the first event, a tire flip, they saw something different. He wasn't the strongest. But he was fast. Efficient. Relentless. He cleared the round without stopping. He finished the rope climbs with blistered hands. He pushed through the prowler sprints until his lungs gave out. He finished middle of the pack. But nobody laughed. Ronnie met him at the end, patting him hard on the back. That was hardcore brother respect. Keanu nodded through his labored breathing. Thanks for everything, Ronnie. You did that, man. I just gave a few cues. You showed up. Word spread. Not online. Not through headlines. Just in whispers. In reverence. Keanu Reeves. Movie star. Trained like a lifter. Lived like a monk. Then one morning he didn't come in. A week passed. Then two. People asked. Ronnie didn't know either. Until one evening his phone buzzed. It was a short message. Filming just started. Out of town for a bit. Wanted to say thank you for the kindness. For the respect. For treating me like just another guy trying to be better. Hope to train with you again soon. Ronnie stared at the screen for a while, then smiled. He walked into the gym the next day and told a few of the regulars. Ain't every day you get trained alongside John Wick. But more than that, he earned his place here. He wasn't an actor in a gym. He was a lifter who acted. And in Ronnie's world that meant something. Months passed. Then one day Keanu returned. Different. Bigger. Stronger. More weathered somehow, but sharper too. He walked through the gym like he'd never left. The room quieted as he moved through it, nodding to the regulars, picking up a barbell like an old friend. Ronnie watched him from a bench. Smiled. Didn't say anything. Just nodded once. Keanu returned the nod. No words needed. Because respect had already been earned. Through reps, through pain, through silence. And in that sacred space of iron and sweat. Even legends had to work for it. Keanu's return wasn't flashy. There were no camera crews. No press releases. Just the sound of a gym door opening and a man walking in with a duffel bag slung over one shoulder and a quiet determination in his eyes. Ronnie spotted him from across the gym, mid-set on incline dumbbell presses. He didn't drop the weights. He didn't shout. He just gave a small nod, the kind only lifters understand. Keanu returned it, his face calm but serious, and then headed straight to the squat rack like it had been waiting for him all this time. The regulars noticed. Some whispered. Others just watched. There was no confusion now. This wasn't some celebrity vacationing in gym culture. This was a man who had come to work. Keanu warmed up in silence, rolling out his back, stretching, checking the bar like a technician preparing for surgery. When he finally stepped under the loaded barbell, his stance was firm, his breathing measured. The weight wasn't showy, but it was heavy, far beyond what he'd lifted when he first walked through those doors months ago. He dropped into a full squat and stood back up with precision. Again. And again. Ronnie finished his set and watched the last few reps. Form's sharp, Ronnie muttered under his breath, not bad. As Keanu finished and racked the bar, Ronnie walked over and slapped him on the shoulder. You been sneaking workouts in with the Navy SEALs or something? Keanu smirked. Movie training. A lot of combat stuff. But I kept the lifting going. Used what you taught me. Ronnie chuckled. I taught you to grunt louder and eat more steak. The rest is you, brother. They fell back into rhythm over the following days. Training side by side. Keanu moved like a man with a mission. Every rep meant something. Every drill had purpose. Ronnie could see it, this wasn't just about looking good for a role. Something deeper was burning in the guy. One morning, after a brutal superset session, they sat on a bench just outside the gym, sipping water and letting the morning breeze cool their soaked shirts. You ever think about competing? Ronnie asked. Not just acting shape, I mean real stage shape. Physique level. Keanu raised an eyebrow. I'm 60. So what? I know guys pushing 70 still throwing down. You've got the work ethic. And if you committed, really committed, you'd surprise a lot of people. Keanu thought about it for a second. Looked out toward the beach where early joggers cut through the rising sun. I'm not chasing trophies, Ronnie. No trophies in here either. Ronnie tapped his chest. Just goals. Just growth. That night, Keanu went home and pulled out his old training notebook. The first page still had Ronnie's scribbled advice from day one, consistency over intensity. Show up and shut up. He flipped through the pages. Notes on deadlifts. Tempo timing. Meal plans. Random quotes. He added a new line. New goal, mastery. Not for roles. Not for image. For self. The weeks that followed were different. Keanu started pushing harder. Smarter. Ronnie began tweaking his plan. They started lifting earlier. 5 a.m. sessions. No distractions. Keanu cleaned up his diet even more. Started meditating before workouts. Training became sacred. One afternoon, a young influencer in bright neon gym wear approached the bench press where Keanu was lifting. Phone out. Recording. Hey man, huge fan. Can I get a shot of you doing this set? Keanu stood up, sweat dripping off his jaw, and simply said, "Not now. I'm working." The kid nodded awkwardly and backed off. Ronnie saw the whole thing and shook his head. "That's why I respect you. Most dudes would have turned that into a photo op. You treat this like church." Keanu glanced down at the bench. "Because it is, Ronnie. This place saved me." Ronnie didn't ask from what. He didn't have to. But then came the test. A few days later, Keanu missed a session. Then another. Ronnie texted. No response. After a week, Keanu returned. Dark rings under his eyes. Weight loss visible. Movement slower. Ronnie didn't ask. Just watched as Keanu tried to get through a light set of rows and failed halfway through. He sat down, elbows on knees, breathing hard. Ronnie walked over and crouched in front of him. What happened? Keanu didn't speak for a few seconds. Then he said softly, "My sister. Cancer came back. Fast. I had to fly out. It's been rough." Ronnie nodded. "You want to train through it?" Keanu looked up at him. "It's the only thing keeping me from breaking." "All right. Then we train." They started slower this time. Rehab style. Not just for the body, for the soul. Movement as medicine. Pain as release. Some days Keanu looked like he might fall apart mid-set. Ronnie stayed close. Didn't coddle. Just stayed there. One day after a long set of sled pushes, Keanu dropped to the floor gasping, tears mixing with sweat. He pounded the mat once. Not in anger. In grief. Ronnie sat beside him. Didn't say anything. Just stayed there until the breathing steadied. Weeks passed. Keanu got stronger again. The gym became his sanctuary, his fortress. Then came the shoot. Big budget action film. International release. The producers called Ronnie personally. "We hear he trains with you. We want to feature it. A behind-the-scenes thing. Might be good for both of you." Ronnie asked Keanu. He shook his head. "This place is real. That world isn't. Don't bring cameras into it." So they didn't. But word still got out. Quietly. Organically. Other actors started showing up. Not to post. To train. To learn. Keanu had shifted the culture. One quiet day at a time. He wasn't a celebrity at Gold's anymore. He was a leader. Then, one final moment sealed it. A young man walked into the gym. Thin. Nervous. Holding a gym bag too big for his frame. He looked like Keanu had on day one. He wandered toward the dumbbells and dropped one. Loud clang. Heads turned. Laughter rippled. Just a little. Keanu was across the room doing front squats. He heard it. He stood up. Walked over to the kid. Picked up the dumbbell. "You knew?" The kid nodded. Keanu handed it back. "Cool. You're in the right place. Just take it one rep at a time." Then he turned to the lifters who had laughed. "We all started somewhere. Remember that." Silence. Respect restored. Ronnie watched the whole thing. Later that night, after the gym cleared out, Ronnie stood by the front doors locking up. Keanu lingered near the stretching mats wiping down a bench. "You know you changed this place, right?" Ronnie said. Keanu shrugged. "I just lifted." "Nah, Ronnie said you showed up, that's different." Keanu looked around the gym. The scuffed floors. The chalked-up bars. The worn-out benches. He smiled. "So did you." They clasped hands firmly. "See you tomorrow?" "Wouldn't miss it." As Keanu walked out into the cool night, the streetlights caught the edge of his silhouette. He looked smaller than the roles he played. More human. But in that moment, to Ronnie and everyone who had trained beside him, he wasn't an actor pretending to be strong. He was the real thing. If this story moved you, don't just scroll. Hit that like button, subscribe for more untold legends, and share this with someone who needs a little quiet strength today.